Guys, welcome back to the University of Smooth. I'm your host, Nixon the Dark, the internet's leading expert on unattractive behavior. The hottest channel on this half of the internet. How hot? Hotter than those snaps she's been sending thugs that you will never get a peek at. Those are really fucking hot. Ask me how I know. Today, more from the violence file. We said last time, like it or not, that a man's ability to inflict violence on a woman's behalf is a 99th percentile protector signal. Violence is literally existentially arousing to women. This puts women in a very difficult situation. Never mind the part where they risk their own harm. Plenty of women have become victims of domestic abuse or worse by getting involved with violent men. That is an extraordinarily high burden to live with, to be attracted to somebody who is going to be dangerous to you. Having said that, you as a man who has struggled with generating attraction from women, you know full well, and I can tell you from personal experience, I recall one of my first, I suppose, deep crushes, strong bond I felt towards a woman who, surprise, surprise, didn't share it for me. We had reached a tete-a-tete, I suppose would be the best way of putting it, where I asked her point blank, not a good strategy, why she didn't find me attractive, and she literally said, "You're not dangerous enough." Not dangerous enough. What do you do to become more dangerous? You can't do anything. Well, I take that back, but we're not here to recommend you become a violent man just because women find violence existentially arousing. You can't do that. You will end up in prison. And also, this girl, she wasn't dating a felon. Although you and I both know that plenty of women get involved with felons. That is a ubiquitous phenomenon that goes back to the start of prison, I would guess. This is all women. They want dangerous men. That's a code word for a man who's willing to protect them, a man who's willing to confront other men. It means a lot of different things. We want to impress upon you that violence is one reality that you must contend with as a man, especially if you don't have a strong propensity for it. The strategies that we recommend certainly do not include becoming violent because women find violence so arousing. Strategies include things like sanctioned ability to learn combat. You can go to a boxing class, an MMA class. I think they're strangely expensive, but you can do that, or simply work out so that you can handle yourself in many confrontational situations. We've also said here that boundary enforcement is 80% physical. You do not need to be an apex level physical predator in order to attract women. The sad reality, though, is that if you are an apex level physical predator, you'll probably be fighting women off with, well, quite a few things. And you'll also be in prison. So security guards and prison guards and state legislators will make sure that those women have very regulated access to you. See the quandary that this puts not only women in, but violent men in. Violent men belong in prison. If they're going to do that kind of harm to society, especially if it's needless harm, or even if it's merited harm, you cannot have a society that coexists with this level of violence. Consider how politically incorrect it is for a woman to openly embrace this desire that could be ignited at any time by a violent act. A lot of women would refuse to admit that they are turned on by violence. A lot of women would tell you flat out and would insist that they are not in any way attracted to violent men. And you know what? When they say that, they are telling the truth. A lot of women will date felons and pass polygraphs in which they flatly state they have no attraction for violent men. Part of the reason for that, dude, when you're attractive, that violence, that's not violence to a woman. That's something else. That's just something, that's you solving a problem. See how attraction works? That's how strong attraction can be from the perspective of a woman. If you are a violent man and she is attracted to you, all of a sudden, all of that harm that you may have inflicted on somebody else, it can be explained away. It could be just like, oh, somebody was messing with him. Somebody got in the chicken coop and was putting like lead in with the chicken food. I don't know, I dated a girl who had chickens one time and weird shit happens. See what I mean? All of a sudden, that's not violence, that's just something else. Yeah, oh, he overreacted. That's not the same as being violent. This is a quandary. A woman has a reputation to protect, and admitting that she is deeply attracted to a violent man is going to ruin her reputation. Another group of women will insist that they do not find violent men attractive, and they will be telling the truth because they have never benefited directly from a man's violence. If the same woman suddenly was in a situation where her boyfriend beat the ever-loving shit out of a mugger, that dude's getting laid that night. Not only is he getting laid, he's getting the best sex he's ever had from her. And she had no idea how aroused she might be. Female arousal is a complicated thing. It can be simple, but reactions to it, explanations for it, and the diplomacy around female arousal are all complex, and your job is to navigate that complexity. So what are your strategies? First, do not try to be violent yourself because you think it will help you get in with a woman. You will get in prison. Second, if you want to learn to fight, go take a class. If you want to learn how to handle a weapon, you can go take a class for that as well. Those are societally sanctioned ways of managing violence. And by the way, you are not doing them to be more attractive to women. That may be a byproduct. You're doing them so that you can handle yourself in a rough world. Next strategy, attractive men know that part of their job and part of the reason that women find them attractive is their ability to protect a woman's reputation. So if you are a strong, attractive man who has options and appreciates the situation that your women are in, you keep her secrets. That's for other guys to wonder what's going on and try and figure out and get to the bottom of this violence dynamic and try to judge women. You don't judge her for this shit, and you don't go telling people that she's really into violent men. No, dude, you keep her secrets. It's discretion. Doesn't mean you condone it. It means that you understand the position that she is in. Yes, some of our social norms are changing such that women can say these things rather flippantly, even telling the truth, especially on the internet. It's fine. Most women, they don't like it. They're uncomfortable with the idea that they're so turned on by violent men. And you are not here to judge them. You're not here to run around telling everybody about this one girl you know who's really into that kind of shit. No, you keep her secret. You are discreet. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and follow You Smooth for more content.